Definitely, and I mentioned Josh Jace this morning because it's his birthday today, the training technician, and he's a man known for being an advocate when it comes to hip-hop music. And there's a very special group that's coming on set this morning because they are celebrating their 20th anniversary, and this morning they join us to do so on set, much like they did the other day. I think I was talking about a reunion show that they had, and they performed there. It's the first time in quite some time we've seen them perform, but they join us on set this morning talking about Be Dangerous, Gazi Gates, and Tim Starr. Spotrushaz family in the house. Good morning to you, gentlemen, and welcome to the show.
Morning.
How we doing?
Happy birthday to Judge Jace for sure.
Yeah, man. Now, well, first of all, let me say congratulations. 20 years. 20 years ago, Spotrushaz was formed and started. What was the inspiration to...
No.
So, why is that? Because it's the 20th anniversary.
20th anniversary of the song, True Soul Live.
That's what it is? You celebrated?
Yeah.
That's almost 20 years already?
Yeah. Correct, is it?
Jesus.
Wow.
I just feel real old.
So how do you feel?
Because I remember when that song come out.
It had a lot of music before that. That is the song that took us.
Yeah, took it to a different place.
Yeah.
Wow. Tell me about what put the group together in the first place.
This guy here, I was just minding my own business, playing basketball, and he's like, hey, you like rap? Like hip-hop? Listen to this every day.
Tell me what inspired you to say you want to put this rap group together.
Well, we were doing some work with Archie, Damon Archie.
Yeah.
Right, he had a group actually before Spotrushaz, and you know we were just meeting up by him, recording stuff over like mixtape tracks, from popular instrumentals and stuff like that. And you know it was good for a time, but we wanted to kind of make a career out of the vibes. So I just basically talked to a couple of guys who seemed like they wanted to take it to the next level. Right?
He basically started a mutiny and we had to defect and
sat down one morning and fellas was like, hey, it was fun, but we wanna really make this something serious.
Nigel, when he approached you, what were your thoughts on it?
Well, I was more into rock at the time. I wasn't even into hip hop yet. But then when I heard the Wu-Tang album, that kind of changed and I was like, hey, let me see what this fella's saying here. If he any good, if it's making any sense. All right, let me check Damien. All right, this making sense, but then no, we need to do some more. Are we doing this or are we not?
Yeah.
So at that point, it was like, all right, I do media, I do music at the same time.
That's what I was saying. You doing another thing. So, Gazi, when Tim approached you to start this group and be a part of it, what were your thoughts?
I mean, I was all for it. We were pretty serious about rapping. You know, me and him, we have a mutual friend. That's how he and I met. He and I used to go to school together.
Right.
So, it's a whole bunch of connections. And, from him and I always going back and forth, spitting our little rhymes to each other. And then when he came forward with the idea, it was like, makes perfect sense.
Yeah. And in the journey, what was some, I know the True Soldiers moment definitely took the group to a different level, right? But in the come up and in the journey along the way, what were some of the things that made you say, yeah, we're going to stick with this? Let me start with you guys.
Cell construction.
Let me start with Gazi.
As he said, cell construction, they were one of the first people groups of people to believe in us. Because we used to record by Johan. He is one of the first people that gave us studio time.
Yeah.
And, the stuff that we did by him, he used to come and play it in the radio station like the next day.
That was 98.9 back then.
Yeah, 98.9.
Right in this building too, yeah.
The kind of responses we used to get from the hip hop community here, we knew that we were onto something and we just kept going,
Yeah. Tim, what were some of the hardest parts of it for you coming up?
I would say first of all, just being heard.
Yeah,
because you didn't have all the platforms and things like you have now. So we just used to try to find as much events, even if it had nothing to do with hip hop.
Right.
Sometimes Nigel will go in there and say, just give us like 2 minutes. Or whatever. Slipping. Sometimes it's a totally different show put into hip hop music and we still going on the stage and doing what we could do for like a minute, and the responses were like, hey, all your vibe not really for here, but all you have something going on. So I think it was just basically being heard was a challenge.
Now, one of the things that's always been interesting for me, people would comment about, local hip-hop artists and whether you're using an American accent or a Trinidad accent. And in Spotrushaz, you all had a combination of it. Because you had some of y'all using the American accent, but then, Nigel, you particularly held on to the Trinidad accent and decided you were going to use it in the songs. What was that process like in terms of determining who does what, or is it just came natural and you decided you're going to keep the both?
Yeah, it was a kind of evolution because I started doing the accent as well, you know, trying to fake the accent, and then I realized while performing that somebody in the audience was watching me like,
Like they can't relate.
and like they couldn't understand what I was saying, and that made me pause for like a few months, and then as most good things happen on the bowl, I was on the bowl and it just hit me like.
And I don't imagine you mean Naparima Bowl, but go ahead.
The throne.
Right.
Yeah, they wanna. Right, and it just came to me, and I was like, hey, I could do this with my accent. I could talk like a Trini, rap like a Trini, and if they want to call it rap so or whatever, I mean, I don't really care. Like, at least I will be heard, you know, and I'll be able to express myself the way I feel and the way I naturally speak.
Nice. All right, so recently you guys had a nice little reunion performance. It was Hennessy anniversary party. And
I didn't know we could say that.
Oh, you mean what you should say it? I mean, it happened. But how was that experience coming back together to do this performance?
It was great. It was actually very fun. You know, we had a great time. I think we realized that night how much we were actually appreciated back then.
Yeah,
I think then we didn't even understand how much we were appreciated. But that night we felt the love, and it was a really, really good experience. You know?
Now, I must ask, right, because I do notice that somebody's missing from this reunion. Because in my recollection, they had 4 members of Spotrushaz.
Well, they were 5, eh?
They were 5. Yeah. What are the other 2?
5. They were 5, but these are the 3 who were on the song. So we reunited for the purpose of the song.
Ah.
It wasn't like a whole reunion yet.
Okay.
Although 20 years of the group has passed already, so we might be looking at a 30-year reunion.
Are there plans to have all 5 reunite?
Well, it depends on schedules and
Because people
budgets
went on, budgets.
You know these things go. It's business.
Because like I said at the beginning, we took this. The group, we had a bank account. We were selling. We were selling CDs. We were making money.
T-shirts.
Yeah. So that is the conversation at this stage in our life. That is no longer. But like, we link up now. It's not that, you know. It hasn't been that for a while. You know, it have to make sense for everybody.
So what's next then?
Next is the album. We're gonna put out our album on the digital platforms, which didn't even exist in our time. So all that great music that people enjoyed, as well as some that nobody ever even heard. We have a song with the late great Denise Plummer that we really focus on right now. Rembunction is working on the video, of course, because she's not here with us anymore. It's a song that we did together a few years ago, and we always wanted to do a video like this. The vibe of the song just calls for a video. We just seen children in the savannah, and it's like a real nation-building song. So that's what we're gonna put out next, along with the album on all the platforms, and see what it does. Push it out there. You know what I mean? There's a whole new world now.
It definitely is a whole new world. But congratulations on 20 years of the True Soldiers. And I encourage you guys to keep doing the work that you've been doing. I know that you've went separate ways. You come back and you're doing anything together again. So we look forward to what's next from Spotrushaz.
Big up Matix, big up Shockman, everybody, all the supporters, all the love. OvertimeTT.com for any information on us. Everybody have their own socials. Y'all can find us. And we might do a Spotrushaz page. I mean,
I feel like why not let people enjoy some of the classics as well as that is, and look forward to the new stuff coming.
All right,
gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Do enjoy the rest of your day, and happy reunion time.
Those fruits for Jace.
You cannot take those fruits for anybody, but do have a great day.
I tried this.
We take a quick break and come back with more. Stick around.
One together.